So it's the eve before game one. You've had this will be your 19th of these. Do you still, get the same level of excitement and or nervousness, that you did before that first one in what, '05, I think?
Yeah, absolutely. Steph asked me that today during practice while we was warming up, and I told him, the minute you don't get that, it's time to be done. So we talked about that for a little while. So definitely excited and ready to go.
Chris, this won't be your first time playing against a former team, but does it feel good to almost get it out of the way right away? Does that kind of, instead of having to wait down the line?
19 years. I don't know if I didn't play the team the first time, but I don't really think that much about it. You know what I'm saying? I sort of knew as soon as the trade happened that was, been through this a while. So you're gonna play them 4 times anyway.
It was just camp and preseason games, and you guys still are missing Draymond, but just how do you think it's all been coming together? And is it kind of what you pictured and envisioned when you first arrived here?
Yeah. I mean, we got a chance to spend time during the summer. Obviously, you don't know injuries going to happen, like the thing with Draymond, but it's been probably even better, just because we got such a great group of guys. We got a great coaching staff. It's been a lot of fun, but I also understand, man, it's funny, training camp, I mean, it's real fast now. It's a few practices, game coming up. So we still got a lot of different things we got to iron out, but we ready to get playing.
Hi, Chris.
Hey,
Nice
how
to
you
see
doing? You too.
The way the way things have worked, Kevin Durant has not been back here in front of the fans since everything he did for this franchise in terms of playing in a game and being honored by the fans. He was hurt when Phoenix came through in March, and then during the pandemic season he came here and played, but no fans. And so, can you imagine maybe what that might mean to him? You've gone back and played former teams in front of former fan bases, and just what it might mean to the fans as well.
Don't know about for him. He probably can speak on that. What years was those? I don't know, all these years we running together, but I'm sure, the fans will go crazy, regardless when somebody leaves, depending on how it is or whatnot. There'll always be, I'm sure, an emotional connection with the things that they were able to do while he was here. So, yeah.
You find a barber out here yet, Chris?
Nah, I'm close to LA. Yeah, I'm good, yeah. My guy Will Brooke, shout out to Will. Will used to come to OKC, he been to Phoenix, Houston. Will been with me a long time.
Chris, we've seen the chemistry you've been able to establish, with this team throughout the preseason, specifically speaking to on the court. But does that full sense of comfort not come until Draymond's back out there with you guys?
Nah, I mean, that's like rhythm as far as playing, right? Because anytime someone's injured, but Dray been, getting back into practice or whatnot. But I think with us, and I say this all the time, we just got a great group. Like, even though Dray wasn't playing, he was still there. His voice is still there in the locker room during film and everything. But once he gets back, all these different lineups and things, we're going to have to figure it out as we go.
You said earlier, and others are saying the same thing, that Steve said earlier that what this team is going to be won't be not tomorrow night. It's going to take some time. And what are the things you need to have happen for you to get to a point where you think, okay, this is who we are? Is it just time, and what else is there involved?
It's going to be time. It's going to be a lot of time. Yeah, we're going to have to learn, sort of identity, who we are. We know how we want to play, but we're going to have to see it in real game form. We're going to have to see how we guard, how we defend. We're going to have to see how teams defend us, And I think that'll happen hopefully sooner rather than later.
Chris, obviously you and Devin have such a connection from being there. What will it be like playing against him and in that situation tomorrow?
It'd be fun, man. It's crazy. Me and Book, we so close. It's going to be like that for life. And obviously he's been on my team for the last 3 years, so it'll be interesting playing against him for the first time tomorrow. But I'm sure after, the first couple minutes, it'll be, like it was when I was in OKC and Houston and all that before. But it definitely should be fun.
Curious, when Keon was just in here and he was saying how, Kevon was in here, he was saying how that, you may not think it, but they still need to hear your voice even more. He's like, no, you're trying to fit in, but he's like, hey, we still need to hear him. Are you getting that sense, or are you just trying to fit in and implement your leadership ways? I mean, I'm figuring it out, and then anytime you go into a new team, it's always different personalities. You know what I mean? And you got to figure out, especially as a point guard, I can talk to this guy this way, that guy that way, and you sort of figure that out. And Loon has been amazing because Draymond and everybody always say that Loon don't say much, but he know everything that's going on. So I'm constantly talking to him, and also understanding too that without Dray being out there right now, we're similar in a lot of ways. So it's gonna be fun. I mean, we did a defensive drill today, and I was just excited that he was out there because he's talking as much as I am, and I think that's just going to help our defense. And so when you have somebody who's already vocal, you just learn when to pick your spot. So, okay. The only other thing I had was you had such great years in Phoenix. Do you even bring any emotion from your time there into this, or is it just like, look, it's open tonight, I'm on a new team, let's get started? I think I play the game the same way every time I play. I'm an emotional guy when I play, when I hoop, but not because of that situation, you know what I mean? I think I play emotional just because of who I am, so opening night, it's a new team. I know what I bring to the table, and that's an edge every time that I play. So been like that for a long time, and I don't see it changing.
A little bit off topic, but as a guy who obviously has been in a lot of high-level conversations lately, just curious what your take is on the in-season tournament and how you think players in the league in particular, will sort of respond to it and treat it this year?
Yeah, I've been a part of them conversations since they first happened. You know what I mean? And I think, man, that's a deep question. And it's one of those things where it's the league, you know what I mean? The whole NBA as a whole, as a business, and I think the in-season tournament has an opportunity to be something big for the league. Obviously, when it's new, everyone's like, oh, what is this, what is this? But to a lot of kids who see it for the first time, this would be all that they know, And so with us as players, as the league and everything, you're always trying to continue to grow the game, right? And I think this is a good way. And for players who've been in the league a long time, this is like, what the hell, but I mean, we went from 24-second shot clock to 14. The game is always changing and evolving, and I think this is just one way of it. So 10 years from now, people will be like, well, damn, look at this. So I think guys, as it starts to roll out, when people start seeing those in-season game tournaments and those given nights and seeing the new courts and all this stuff, I think guys will hopefully start to buy into it. And you got the most competitive guys in the world all competing. So guys, they're going to want to win.
That was what I was going to say. Do you think that when especially it gets down to the quarterfinals and you sort of know you're playing potentially 3 games to win the thing, that people will start to really buy into the idea of having a chance to win something because they are, it is a group of incredibly competitive guys involved in it?
Yeah, I don't really care what nobody say. On those given nights, guys are going to want to win. I'm contrary to belief, nobody ever goes into a game saying y'all can have this one. You know what I mean? Unless you start talking about them ones towards the end of the season when they're trying to figure out their playoff position. But yeah, man, guys are a lot more competitive than people realize. So I think guys are always going to want to win.
How much, if any, time have you spent sort of looking at the league? I mean, the league, there's a lot of talent in this league, as you know. and look at the West, there's a lot of depth. I mean, the teams from 1 all the way down pretty much. What do you think this first couple of months is going to show, if anything, about who these teams are, and how difficult will it be to get where you want to get given all the depth in this Western Conference?
Well, the league has always been about trying to make it, what's the word I'm looking for? Parity, right? You know, shout out to, you know, my vetoed trade in 2008, you know. Yeah, straight up. I mean, the league has always said it wanted parity and all these different things. That wasn't 08 either. That was 2011. I'm tripping. Yeah, it's a lot of depth around the league, a lot of really good teams. And I've been in the West my whole career, and I point to I've been in the league a while, not as long as Raymond over here, but I don't know if you remember that year when Houston won like 22 games in a row or something, and they only moved up like a spot or two, because the West has been like that my whole career. So when they be like, man, there's a lot of good teams, this has been like that my whole career. You know, I remember when Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio, you know, that was 12 losses every year because they all was so good. So we're going to see.
Chris.
Yep. I was in New Orleans.
Chris, this isn't your first time playing with Dario. I just wanted to kind of see where you've maybe seen his game further being around coaches like Ron Adams and Decky and so forth.
Yeah, Dario's so good, man. I remember this summer when Steve and Mike and Dunleavy, they called me and said, we got a chance to get Dario. I called Dario so fast. You know, I called him so fast. It kind of reminded me when I went to Houston. And I think it was Daryl them at the time said, we need somebody on the wing. I called Luke Bamute. You know what I mean? Just guys who not only really good players, but just great guys, you know what I mean, to have in the locker room. And so Dario, he went to OKC last year, and I'm glad to be back with him because it's just a comfort level. I know he plays the game the right way no matter what, and he's just a great guy to be around.
Chris, Steph has told us, you know, at times he may try to play till he's 40 or late 30s, and that's you're at that stage. 38. I'm old, but have you seen in your work up close with him, just the way he works and the way he everything? I mean, behind the scenes that says, hey, this guy he's got 5 more. 6,
oh yeah,
7.
he's gonna be able to do it easy. Easy. And it's crazy you say that. I was just in the locker room having conversation with JK and BP and Loon and all them guys about exactly what you just said. And I just told JK, I said, he easily got 20 years in this league. You know, and I told him just about, I mean, our team, we talk about a lot of stuff, but we're just telling JK, I feel like it's been a great situation for him to come to a team like this where you get a chance to see so many vets. You get to see a guy like Loon who might not say stuff, but you see how he approaches things day in and day out. And so Steph to 40, oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I could sit up here and talk about that over 36 rule that they tried to say I put in just for me and my homies, whatever, man. Like, with the way people train and stuff like that now, it's going to be more common for guys to play longer in their careers because all the medical staffs and all that stuff now. So,
what has been the key for you?
The key for me, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a love, a passion for the game. You sort of have to fall in love with the monotony, you know, the day-to-day. And, I mean, I get to come to play basketball every day and say this is my way of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, blessed. There's a lot of people that help and make this world go round, but I'm fortunate.